Hello, Steve. What's Steve Arts 89? Well, it's the New York Toy Fair, and there's lots of toys to talk about. So I'm just doing a couple of videos because we finally have seen the, I guess, final versions of the new Star Trek figures, and there's a nice ad, which is a little comical. But so we see Peter Preston and Captain Sulu with his little teacup, and Captain Rachel Garrett and Tuvix, and I'm like, did they tell us they were doing Tuvix? I don't remember Tuvix. I don't like Tuvix. Wayoon, and we see Archer in his little green uniform, which is kind of annoying because I have Kirk in the green uniform. It's like, oh, now I have to find a Kirk in the yellow. Like, they act like that's everywhere. I'm like, I guess they did one, but I wasn't able to find it back in the day, and I ended up getting Kirk in the green uniform. And we see Jellicoe with, I guess that's Picard's fish tank. That's a bit much. But the best part is it Valaris? Valkyris. Valkyris comes with a Genesis device, and it's like scale. It looks scale, because that was basically the size of a person. It looks amazing. I'm like, wow. I wasn't expecting her to come with that accessory. I know she was the one bringing, what was it? Krug the plans and information, but she didn't actually ever have access to the actual device. That was on the station. So that's weird, but I mean, why not? And yeah, so they look interesting. I mean, the detail is amazing, actually. The sculpt is amazing. These really are good. This is what I wanted. I wanted them to just continue on in the same scale as the Art Asylum and give us that level of quality, and just keep building on those collections and give us the ones we don't have. And I didn't think anyone would do that, because you're really, really just appealing to the main sort of Star Trek collector sort of group. And there's a chance that you won't sell, because there's a small number of those people, and you have to really get them all to want it, as opposed to something that appeals to like the general audience that you can sell in like a Walmart or something, like your basic Kirk and Spock that people are just going to buy. But we've got like 5 Kirk and Spocks, and that's the problem. You get these lines that start up, and you buy a couple of main characters, and then they never finish the line, so you don't get the whole crew, and you don't even get the extra characters or whatever they were promising. So they're starting off with the extra characters. So this could do really well, or it could fail badly. And they said they'll probably do maybe two, maybe 3 lines before, if it's not selling well, before they actually give up. So we might get a second wave, even if this one doesn't do well. We probably won't get a third wave unless these do well. And I can't see collectors like myself who won't get these figures. And so long as they're not making huge amounts and they are selling, even if they're just appealing to the hardcore collectors, that's better than trying to appeal to the mass audience and no one buys them, which is what's happened with some of the lines, because there was no TV series or movie at the time to sort of get them excited, so it just failed. So yeah, I'm looking forward to them. Rachel Garrett, interesting. I definitely want Hakara Sulu with the teacup, because I don't have him in the set, but I kind of want the helmsman Sulu as well, with the yellow collar and that, because they did him through Art Asylum. But I'm really hoping they finish off that set. I want Uhura in a miniskirt, because I know they've already done an Uhura in that scale, but I want miniskirt Uhura. I want maybe the Star Trek 5 silver-haired Uhura, or because the miniskirt Star Trek 6 Uhura looks a lot like the miniskirt Star Trek 3 Uhura, except she's got a little bit of a mullet. It was the 80s, but bit of a Jerry curl with a little bit of a. It was a bit longer at the back. She had a bit more party in the back than the front. So I want one of those variants, something like that. I think we already had Savick. I'm assuming we'll get Valaris. We might get a Rand from Star Trek 3. Why didn't they do Rand from Star Trek 3 right away? Hell, why didn't they do Rand from Star Trek 1? So there's so many possibilities that I would love to have. And if they're just appealing to collectors and they're not doing, too big, I was going to say printings, but if they're not producing too many of them, I think this could work. And it could be one of those long lines that isn't huge, but goes on, and you get a lot of figures, kind of like Master Universe Classics, and that was all done online. They appealed to the core fan base, and they just made however many people wanted, and it just went on forever. And it was more not about putting out one line with just couple of figures that like everyone in the country bought. They just had a really, long line of figures that kept going, and they had like a set sort of core that they were sort of selling to. Maybe this will work like that. Maybe this will be our Star Trek classics, but without the main classic characters. It's just everyone else. So I'm kind of excited for this. I'm going to buy, I think, all the characters. I don't want Jellicoe because I didn't like the character. I don't really like Tuvix, but he's an interesting looking character, so I might get him. But, considering they didn't do the Voyager characters, and they only did some of the Deep Space Nine characters, do you think they might have started with those characters first? Because they haven't had figures yet in that scale. So they've got no excuse not to do them. The original series and movie series and Next Generation, they've kind of been done. But Deep Space Nine and Voyager, they probably should have started with them, actually. But we'll see what happens. I'm going to go.